Hey everyone, welcome back to the Foxtrot World Cup show. Right after the group stage, we are back here to catch up to all the action from the previous week, following the previous episode. And as always, here we got the World Cup Match Tracker OSG and our rookie, Selvin. How's it going, y'all?
Going great.
What's up, man? What's up? What's up? Chilling, chilling. Enjoying every minute of every game. I know Selvin is. He'd be outside shell killing it.
Yep.
Fans everywhere. Fans came up to me and asked about when is this gonna be posted? When is everything? And I didn't expect to fans to come up when I was recording Tuesday. It was Wednesday.
Yeah, and honestly, your reactions you've captured over the course of the group stage, games happening in Houston. Well, streaming in at Shell Stadium, right beside the FIFA Fan Fest, and for everybody that hasn't been able to go to Houston Stadium, all the reactions altogether have been fantastic, and Sylvain has just been out there getting all of it, and we do appreciate that because it's been a lot of entertainment to say the least. Because of that, a lot of passion coming out of all the fans that were catching up to all the games, and it's been incredible. And to think that there's already been a few weeks of the World Cup and there's only about half a month left or just a few weeks left, it's I mean you have all that fun and next thing you know it's almost over. But honestly, I'm so happy that it of all the places it happened in Houston because Houston's been a great host so far.
The Fan Fest has been a blast. I made it a few times. As we've been mentioned before, the Shell Energy hosting watch parties has been getting a good amount of crowd. The Mexicans have been outright crazy and just invading everything that's been going on down there. You had a good turnout with Netherlands. You had a good Argentinian turnout. Uh, but FanFest has been killing it. Everybody's enjoyed FanFest. Maybe not the prices, but I've seen other FanFest, man, and they don't have a big ass canopy covering the stage and the place where the fans can stand and sit and watch the concerts. They're out in the open sun, just getting blasted away. So you know, whew, good. Thank you, Houston, for putting the canopy over the FanFest in the main stage area. Whew,
Thank you,
sweating.
Houston. Thank you, Houston, to be in the only stadium that don't need tickets.
Yeah, I think a few of if not most of the fan fests are you actually have to pay for, and Houston's one of the very few that actually are free entry. Obviously there's a limited capacity for safety reasons, but as always, like the organizing committee making sure that a lot of fans can attend the watch parties for all the games right next to Challenger Stadium. It's just fantastic, and shout out to them for making that happen. I know like it's been years of organization, logistics, and it turned out to be this. And that on top of the fact that just before we get started with the episode, I just wanted to highlight the fact that I believe the group stage of the World Cup I broke the attendance record, the all time attendance record for a World Cup in the men's side to in attendance. I didn't have the figures with me, but I believe it's in the it's in the millions. So it's
Well, it,
just
it better break
incredible.
the attendance with that many more games being played too. Remember, we added this is the first tournament of 48 teams over 32. So yeah, they're gonna break all kinds of friggin' records left and right. So that the question we're halfway through. Kind of since you brought it up, I really wanted to ask you two. I got you both really quick before you go on, but the change from 32 to 48. What is your opinion of it as halfway through the tournament as we get into the knockout rounds? Are you for it? Were you for it? Are you still for it? Or would you rather go back to the 32?
Because I was still being, and I can answer later.
I say I love it because you see teams fighting for the third place spot, and you get to see like nations like Cabo Verde tie all three games and advance. I would love to keep this format going on because you see South Korea was still waiting for results to happen to be the best third place, but Cabo yesterday Congo eliminated South Korea.
And on my side, I do agree with Selvin because the addition of more teams into the tournament initially, with all the opinions about expanding access to the World Cup, essentially minimizing the competition or rather taking out prestige out of the winning the World Cup, I believe that by itself really defeats the purpose of having a World Cup because if you're playing a World Cup, I've always believed that the most amount of teams should be able to play. Granted, we shouldn't be inviting the entire FIFA, like all the members of FIFA, to like one tournament because it's logistically impossible. But obviously, you want to have the best teams, and I feel like expanding the sample size to 48 at this point, it's the best way to go because 32 definitely there was a lot of mysticism behind just having just a set amount of like limited amount of teams there. But by taking it up to 48, I always knew that there was going to be a lot of more competition with how the game has evolved over time, and that's been proven already by Cabo Verde, yeah, and Curacao. Like obviously they didn't qualify. Curacao starting qualifying, making history for Concacaf, and like even scoring against Germany back here in Houston, and Cabo Verde qualifying already, and even though they have to face Argentina now, like they made the accomplishment, and they finished second in the group, and that's no joke whatsoever. And
Right. I'm 100% for it too. You talked about the evolution of soccer, the evolution of the competition. It allows more teams to make it. You know, when we some were always like, "There's not enough teams making it from our region to the World Cup," and then it's still to be proven. You know who can take over. There's only been what 7 teams that have won the World Cup or 9 or whatever the single number is that have won the World Cup in all of its history. So. Those powerhouses will probably still continue to win the World Cup, but you like to see, like Selvin mentioned, South Korea is not one of those teams that advanced, and they were expected to fight for winning that group against Mexico, and then they ended up in third place and weren't high enough in third rank to make it anywhere. There was another team that comes shorthanded. We won't mention Italy; they didn't even make it to the tournament again. But it's just the storyline, like you said, Congo for us here in Houston, where they were housed. The opportunity to see them was something special. Then and we had some friends of ours go to Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde the other night and get to see that moment and get to see the moment when the team learned that they were going to be second place in their division in their group and get to play friggin' Messi in Argentina in their next round. So good luck, boys. You're going to need every minute of it, but y'all enjoy it. Y'all play with everything y'all got, which y'all have been doing. And Argentina, look out. Don't be surprised if y'all are going down early and you're struggling late, no matter what messy magic you got over there. But yeah, man, I'm with you, man. Tournament's something special. They'll keep it like that. Let's keep going with it. Now they'll have to see what they do to all these tournaments in between the years between the World Cup. But I love it. 48 teams.
yeah,
It's
and it's just gonna evolve over time. And really, from here, I cannot recall a World Cup group stage that has been as entertaining as this one because there's been a lot of goals. Granted, the breaks might have helped players revitalize or change their game plan in a whim, but at the same time, I don't like. There's been so many memorable moments, and even on the last day of the group stage last night, Austria tying Algeria 3-3. Like the highest scoring game of the tournament was that one so far. 6 goals out of it, and not to mention the sheer amount of goals that have been scored altogether. Like it was just incredible. And we're just gonna go ahead and take this moment to go ahead and review all the groups and who has qualified to the next stage. And it's I mean it's incredible like how this journey has unfolded over time. And of course, starting with Group A, we do have Mexico going through with their first ever a perfect group a qualifying stage. They won all 3 games, obviously 9 points, and they haven't conceded a single goal, which is incredible. Of course, we got the reactions from the Mexican fans outside Shell Energy Stadium in our latest short. If you guys saw it on YouTube already, but I just want to get the reactions from Selvin because he was there. Selvin, what are your thoughts on the Mexican national team heading into their first ever round of 32 game?
I'm thinking I don't got no words for that. This is the first time that Mexico does something good, and besides the criticism they had South Korea winning it, Mexico came and demonstrate what couldn't be done in 2018. Sadly, that they fought short against Sweden, but now Mexico is heading into the 32 round as a perfect team, a team that yes, people be talking about. I'm not 100% sure that Mexico is a great nation yet, but I'm proud of them. I'm considering them one of the few nations top five of this World Cup.
I'm not gonna consider them top five. So, a good job, man. But hey, yeah, I know you enjoyed every friggin' moment. You got to celebrate with those fans and talk to those fans and enjoy the game, your national anthem. You got to get your national anthem as well. But yeah, Mexico won that group, and we're so jealous. Us USA Americans are so jealous because you got all 9 points, won all three games. We wanted to do the same, but whatever. It is what it is. And now your path is kind of set. You got two games in Mexico City back to back. Winning the group, you're going to play Ecuador, and then after that, you play the winner of England versus Congo. So, ooh, this is where your games were tough. You did have a Czechia was a surprise too, finishing fourth. South Africa was everybody's surprise and just played that group to the best of any team really, and then Korea fallen super short. That's a too good of a team that just failed. So now we'll see what Mexico can do. You got a team that's got Ecuador, and you've got some experts picking Ecuador. I think the majority is picking Mexico. I'm going to pick Mexico, and then we'll see what happens with England, Congo, man. But geez, Andreas, Mexico, man. I was like I said, I was jealous of them winning that group with all three games. I wanted to too.
Yeah, and I was really disappointed with South Korea because I thought they were gonna be finishing out second. I felt like they had a pretty bad tournament altogether, and they're getting knocked out. Well, they were hoping to qualify as a third place team, but they were not able to get enough points. And South
And Son
Africa
did
taking
nothing.
yeah, South Africa taking the second place spot, but as we are recording here on Sunday night after the game, well, the first round of 32 game between Canada and South Africa, they're out, and so we'll talk about Canada in just a bit, but yeah, like
Well,
honestly,
no, now you just well, okay, never mind. Go ahead, keep going, keep going. That was a teaser, y'all.
yeah, yeah, you're a teaser, but we'll
No,
expand on it
spoiler,
eventually. Yeah,
spoiler.
spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah, he
But
went he went forward in time. We're coming back to time. We're back to Group B now, I guess, right?
yes, and Group B, of course, Switzerland topping the group over Canada because they were able to beat Canada, well, like 2-1 on the last day of the group stage with 7 points. Obviously, two wins and a draw. Canada finishing out second with 4 points, and Bosnia and Herzegovina with 4 points. They were able to pick up a third place team spot in the round 32, and they're gonna be facing the United States very soon. But yeah, honestly, Switzerland, I was very surprised because granted, I felt like this was the strongest team, but at the same time, I feel like playing Canada. I feel like Canada could have had the edge just being the host, but Switzerland out here being playing their best soccer, obviously undefeated still, and they're gonna be playing Algeria for their path ahead.
I actually had Switzerland winning that last game. You can go, Stelman, you really can't go, but the Foot Mob uh, World Predictor, you can go back and see that I had it because I had Switzerland beating Canada. I wasn't confident in Canada, even though being at home. So and Switzerland gets through. That group was weak to me, but whatever. And then, but Canada made it. Canada did make it through, but they're going to have to go through U.S. soil to make it through their bracket now. And their fans are going to have to travel, which I'm sure they're not going to have any problem traveling around the United States and getting across their borders. So, but I bet they wish their games were still in Canada. It'd be a lot more easier. But you got to be better if you want to take advantage of home field advantage.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Canada surprising everyone in the second game after the first game. They tied
Oh, that 6-0 against Qatar or Qatar.
against Qatar, and I'm thinking myself, Qatar only gave 1 point, and it was great for people to see Canada actually do something against Qatar.
Yeah, and
Hey, they
Qatar just
had
got
one of the
absolutely
three hat
steamrolled.
tricks. Yeah, yeah, one of the three hat tricks in the World Cup so far that have been what was it?
Recorded.
Dembele,
Yeah.
Messi, and then yeah, that guy. Yeah,
Kyle Laren, I
Hmm.
believe, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's like that group was obviously like on paper it kind of looked boring. More looking at the games, they were overall entertaining at the end of the day. So,
but
I agree.
but
and
yeah,
Canada looking out. Canada got South Africa taking second place in the group, and then Netherlands, Morocco's that other game. Uh, Switzerland Switzerland went to. They're going to get a tough Algeria team who finished third place. We just saw them last night play that 3-3 friggin' insane game, and they're bracketed with Colombia, Ghana. So if you're Canada, are you happy where you ended up, or or you want South Africa and the Netherlands, or do you want either way? I think it didn't affect them much, except they lost their home field advantage. So we'll just see what they can do out of the group now.
yeah. Um, of course, we can probably talk about the game between Bosnia and Herzegovina and the United States later on. We moving into Group C. We do have Brazil topping the group with 7 points, obviously undefeated, and Morocco also with 7 points, finishing out second because of goal differential. Brazil had three more goals, so they have a +6, and Morocco had +3, and both qualified to the next round. Scotland finished out third with 3 points, but were not able to make it out of the group because they had only 3 points. And honestly, I was kind of sad because Scotland didn't make it because I really liked how their fans just went out to all the like they showed out to all the stadiums, all the games, and they had like a wonderful atmosphere. Although some of those games outside from the Haiti one, I felt like they were just out of it.
Yeah, they didn't do much at all. So sucks for them, but now it's we'll see what Brazil versus Japan in Houston getting out of that
Hmm.
group. So paper came out. That's going to be a friggin' awesome game if you're able to be in attendance for that game. I'm sure that game is going to be insane. And then what was the other one? Morocco got Netherlands. So that's
Yep.
another game that's going to be insane. And that one's in the Stadio in Monterrey. Oh, that's going to be up in the mountains, right? So that Netherlands might have a little trouble there. So we'll see how they play and see how they can go. Because I'm still rooting for Netherlands, and I'm going to take Netherlands over Morocco, and I'm going to take Brazil over Japan. But those are some cool games right there, man, to check out, and might be your favorite round of 32 games as well.
And also, I want to mention shout out to Houston Dynamo for letting Japan and Brazil use their stadium. They just shout out to Houston Dynamo for that.
Oh yeah, they were training at Shell Energy Stadium today. We did get some footage from social media from media members that attended, and that's pretty sick. That's awesome, and man, that
And
game tomorrow is gonna be insane for sure.
Some of the Brazilian players took some pictures of the Guilherme heart that's on the stadium walls, and you kept. So if you go see Guilherme's Instagram profile, you go check his stories, and you'll see all the Brazilians that were all the Brazilian players that were tagging him while they were at the stadium. So that was pretty cool to see too. All those Instagram stories from a lot of the Brazilian players enjoying Houston, enjoying Shell Energy Stadium, and seeing Guilherme posted up everywhere while they're in Houston too. So that was cool to see. And hey, Neymar, we already, obviously the call's already been made. Hennemay's already admitted he's talked to you. So Pat, I'm sure you've talked, but is he possible in that realm? But that is awesome to use the stadium, prepare for it, and they get to the moment, and Neymar gets to see what he could be playing in the future.
also, that group is a tough group because thinking about it, Brazil tied against Morocco, and Still have Netherlands going all the way to the final, but it's gonna be a fun game against Morocco.
No, yeah, I believe that game is going to be a high
Yeah.
scoring one, and both teams are going to have to figure out how to stop from stop each other from scoring because it's going to be it could easily get out of control. And that was Group C. Group D, of course, we do have the U.S. men's national team topping the group with 6 points and a +4 goal differential, and Australia coming into with the second spot with 4 points and the zero goal differential. Obviously, they did get a win earlier against Turkey. They lost against the U.S. And the final draw against Paraguay to get them through. And Paraguay with 4 points, they did not make it to the second spot because they had a -2 goal differential, but they qualified as a best third place team, and they're going to be taking on Germany. We already mentioned the USA taking on Bosnia Herzegovina in the round of 32, and Australia facing Egypt on July 3rd, and yeah, the USA coming in on July 1st very soon. OSG, obviously, we watched the game against Turkey, yeah, and I was extremely disappointed with how the men's national team performed because you could have sworn they're going to be topping the group, considering that Turkey Gate had an absolutely shocking campaign here. What are your thoughts of the last game and really just a group stage campaign overall?
Look, even with the 9 subs that we made to play Turkey A, and Turkey A played their best players either way. I was still confident that we were going to win the game. I still predicted them to win the game, even with that many subs being made. So I was confident in how our team was going to play, and they played pretty well. But it came down to the back line were 4 different players than it has been in the previous 2 games. They should be used to playing with each other, and they gave up the 3 simplest of goals that you practice against every day in practice, and attackers shoot on every day. Those low ball crosses or crosses in the air, either way, coming from coming from where they come from, right? Or just that's what they practice. That's how they get down the wing. They put those balls across the middle of the box, and you're supposed to score. You're supposed to know how to defend them, and those were just too easy, man. I was disappointed on how easily defended those attackers were for Turkey A and the way they scored. So credit to Turkey A for putting themselves in that position, and uh, you know I don't want to see those players back on the field again for our defense. No. Now when there's three of the 4 starters and you sub one out and you put in one of the bench players, I'm okay with that. They're going to stick together. They're going to be a team together. But yeah, that many subs, they show that they don't play together enough as a unit. And damn, yeah, I wanted to win the group, but luckily it didn't matter thanks to the head-to-head rule, which I do love over the goal differential rule. Should have never ever been goal differential rule to begin with. But yes, USA, and
There you
as
go,
you mentioned,
USA. Yeah.
Yeah, they get Bosnia. I'm excited about that game too on a Wednesday night against Edin Dzeko, who still playing soccer. But I think USA will have no problems. They'll get back to business, and they should have a nice win. I'm expecting that game to be a 2-0 win for USA against Bosnia.
I was thinking about USA topping that group. I was thinking, what was Pochettino doing entering with Musa instead of Pulisic? I know Pulisic is coming out from an injury, but you should have started someone else like Sendejas.
You didn't want to. You didn't want to push him any, so that's why they played him at the end of the game and gave him the 30 minutes. So that's what I kind of expected with Pulisic, was you give him some minutes at the end to
I
get him
would
some reps and get him ready for the next game. And because this game didn't matter, so you don't want to risk him out there. It
I
doesn't
would
matter if you lost.
I would have loved to see Sendejas 90, not 90 minutes, 67 minutes, 68. I wanted to see
Right.
him do something because for USA, and I was just telling myself USA has a talent like Sendejas on the bench, someone that came up against Japan and score a beautiful goal. And I'm thinking, why you still bench him? If Pulisic is not there, the man to step up is always gonna be Sendejas, and he showed on the friendlies that he can be that guy.
Like it really
Well,
comes down
Seven,
to
let me tell you something.
yeah.
USA offer is sounds like USA's offering Pochettino another round after this World Cup, supposedly. So I was a little surprised because I was going to break the news and say Pep was going to be the next USA coach. Pep left a year early from Man City, and then he's just sitting there. You had no rumors. Pochettino already announced that he was going to be done after the World Cup, setting up perfect. But we'll see, and maybe it's a distraction. Pep said, "Tell Pochettino, bro, we're going to give you a fake offer, and don't worry about it." Pep's the next U.S. coach.
Yeah, and I wanted to add that, and also going back to what Sylvain said, it kind of just went that came down to the fact that they already qualified in first place and there was nothing to lose, and it was definitely better to take advantage of the opportunity and rotate players and rest them. But I do agree to an extent with Sylvain because I felt like the mentality against Turkey should have been different. And with what OSG said, there was a lot. There were a lot of mistakes in that game that that should have been able to take care of immediately. And for some reason, the game got away from their hands. Turkey, yeah, that couldn't do anything to qualify because of how horrible their group stage campaign was. And yeah, it's just moving on from here. Of course, they do have a Bosnia and Herzegovina coming up, so I feel like it's gonna be a pretty good game, regardless of what it shows on paper. Bosnia is not a slouch either, and I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be a great way for the U.S. to enter a an insane knockout stage of the 2026 World Cup coming up. And now we move into Group E. Uh, we got two teams tying with 6 points each. Germany and Ivory Coast taking the first and second place respectively with 6 points. Germany that with a +6 goal differential, and Ivory Coast with a +2 goal differential. Ecuador on the last day, man, uh, being one of the best third place teams with a win over Germany, man. An absolute insane victory to get into 4 points on the last day to get them through the next stage, and they're going to be facing Mexico at Mexico City Stadium as well. Were you guys able to watch that game against Ecuador because Ecuador against Germany? Because I was watching for Ecuador to do something, and they pulled it off incredibly.
I was
Well, Germany scored immediately and put your dreams to like,
Yeah,
oh man, come on
yeah,
already. Yeah, so they had to come back. What a fight! So good job, Ecuador, and that's probably why some people are picking Ecuador to beat Mexico in Mexico City, and I think Ecuador shouldn't have to worry about the heights either, the whatever that is. But so that should be a great game, and credit to Ecuador for still finishing third. But man, you got Mexico now. Now you got to go out and prove it again. But beating Germany, man, yeah, that's something that going to give you a lot of heart and a lot of hope going into the next round. And now all you have to do is you're the underdog. You're an upset away, 4 or 5 upsets away from winning the World Cup.
yeah.
no, no. I was thinking Germany should have played way better, and that was a look, and that was a lucky goal. The second one was a super lucky goal. I don't know what Money Neuer did to come out like that. I was I was watching and I was thinking about um that error he did 2018, that he came out in the middle of the field to play the ball, and I was like, props to Ecuador for winning. They tied. They lost one, tied against Curacao. Now who was it? Yeah,
They
Curacao.
lost it. Well, they lost against Ivory Coast, and they drew Curacao, and that was the moment when they were like feeling the hot water because they could have been they were facing elimination on the last day of the group stage, and they went ahead and pulled it off against Germany, which is just insane. And yeah, shout out to them. But like all as you said, they scored. Germany scored immediately, and I was like, "Come on, man!" Um,
I was laughing and I was like, oh, it's gonna be a Germany domination more than 5 goals,
it could
and
have been a
some
rough one.
it could have been a
Yeah,
rough one. But I was thinking they call the Mexico ex coach Juan Carlos Osorio to see how to beat Germany, because Mexico won against Germany 2018. So I was thinking They call the Juan Carlos Osorio ex Mexico coach to see how to beat Germany.
Yeah, man, it's gonna come down to that because of course Germany moving on to the next stage. They're gonna be facing Paraguay, and yep, good luck to Paraguay. And Ivory Coast are gonna be facing Norway. I feel it's gonna be a very entertaining game to watch, so I'm looking forward to that one as well. And yeah, just before we move on to Group F, shout out to Curacao for at least picking up a point, finishing up the World Cup campaign in last place of the group. But man, they won our hearts. So shout out to Curacao, and I hope they keep improving. And I hope to see them again in Concacaf play as well.
I
We're
had them.
moving to yeah,
I had them as a dark horse of this tournament.
got you. And moving into Group F, we do have the Netherlands topping the group with 7 points over Japan, which they finished up with 5 points. They did draw Sweden 1-1 on the last day, so they were not able to top their group. Netherlands coming in with 2 wins, and the last one against Tunisia, 3-1 to uh, get secure the top spot. And Sweden coming in with 4 points to finish as one of the best third place teams. Unfortunately, they're going to be playing France, so there goes that. But but honestly, the game in between Japan and the Netherlands and Japan to open the group stage, I felt that was very entertaining and definitely proved of both teams. At least they made their case to how far can they go in the groups in the knockout stage, and both went through as well. So I'm looking forward to Japan to what they can do, but of course Netherlands could potentially making it all could be making it all the way.
I'm
Yeah, I don't think they'll get that far, but okay. Good luck, Japan.
I'm
You
thinking,
got Brazil. You got Brazil. Bye.
no, I'm gonna get Brazilians' hopes down, and I'm gonna go with the upset Japan over Brazil. I'm thinking Japan can surprise anyone. Japan did it in 2018, almost beating Belgium.
Keep going back to 2018. That was 8 years ago. This is these different World Cups, brother.
This is a
This
this.
Two World Cups later. There are some people still playing on these teams. Yeah, Jessica Alba at the Canada against South Africa game today. There we go. I'm in love. But man, yeah. Go ahead, Sal.
I was thinking. Yes, Brazil has names as Bini, Rafinha. You got Endrick, you got Casemiro, Inter Miami player now. You got players that, yes, it's in paper you got the best team, but in the pitch, I'm not convinced about Brazil yet. Yes, they dominate and everything, but I'm not convinced because you tied against Morocco. The only game that gave you competition was Morocco. Besides that, I'm gonna put Japan giving competition to Brazil, taking them to penalties and losing in penalties against.
Andreas, how many Houstonians do we have listening to the show right now while we're live? How many do we have? One?
We do have a couple actually,
We do have a couple.
but that's on
I want
YouTube.
them
We do have more
Houstonians.
on X.
Okay, I want them to know. I want them to know that Selvin's completely wrong. He's not going to mess up the Neymar to Houston. The Brazilians in Houston playing in Houston against Japan. That's not going to happen. The aura is Brazilians in Houston right now. Brazil's not losing in Houston. We're not messing up Neymar coming to Houston. Gahemi is making magic, even though Gahemi cannot even be in Houston for this game because he's off playing friendlies while they're getting ready to return to MLS play soon. Brazilians, Stokes, Selvin, calm down.
Ronaldinho
The
is seeing
Japanese
Houston.
are gonna follow Korea right back home on the same plane.
Ronaldinho is seeing Houston.
There we go. See, now you're saying it.
I
It's coming
seen
out.
I seen Ronaldinho.
Ronaldo will probably be in Houston as well. The real Ronaldo.
The real one,
So
yeah.
So
Rivaldo,
get ready.
Ronaldo. I seen that Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, and it was Cafu in the same car getting down in the same hotel as Brazil.
Love
Nice.
it, love it, love it. They're here.
Yeah,
It's the World Cup, man. The World Cup
here
brings
we go.
everybody together.
Yeah, Brazil, Japan. Tomorrow's gonna be absolutely insane. And moving on to Group G, we do have Belgium and Egypt both uh, with the first and second place respectively, 5 points each. But Belgium do have the +4 goal differential over Egypt's +2, and Belgium is going to be facing Senegal in the next round. And of course, we already mentioned Egypt facing Australia. Iran, unfortunately, they did have 3 points, but did not make it out because there was only 3 points. They got three draws out of the group stage, and I feel they could have been doing more, but unfortunately, leaving the World Cup without qualifying yet again. Um, man, this
Winner of
group,
Belgium Senegal plays USA, and then the controversy. I want to hear y'all's takes on the controversy
all right,
before I step in and declare judgment correct or
all right,
incorrect.
all right,
Hey,
shoot,
the goal, the offside. So, Selvin,
yeah,
was it correct or not?
It wasn't correct. Like I'm still shocked that they gave it outside. And I was watching that game, and I was like, no way you gave Iran an outside goal. Like there's no way. Like I want to know what's the technology they use for them to call it outside.
Well, the one they tell you what the technology is. Andreas, how did you see it?
it was painful because in real time, you could have sworn like it was legit, but unfortunately, with like the amount of technology that we have already to mark it out, because he was technically offside. It hurts because I was pulling for Iran to make it out of the group, at least in third place, and they weren't able to do it. And man, it's disappointing for sure.
Yeah, especially the last minute. But technically, it was offsides, and with the technology proves it does work. Sorry, Colombia as well. But
Yeah,
Iran was offside. Selvin was
Sylvian left.
offside.
You made it,
Yeah,
man.
someone knocking on his door coming in. They're probably bringing him his dinner tonight. He's going to come back with some noodles here in a second, probably.
There we go.
But yeah, it definitely was offside. And seeing all the posts on TikTok, troll or not, people saying that they got robbed, they got robbed, they got robbed. Like, come on, y'all don't know offside, obviously. So just whatever. But it was offside, so you kind of get robbed because you took the moment away. But it was technically the correct call, and that's what VAR is for. So they got it right. And the scramble, damn, it was unfortunate because I was excited for that goal too, and then to come back and find out offside, whoa, and then you see oh, I get it,
Yeah.
damn, and it sucks, and everybody was kind of look, there's a defender right there, there's a defender right there. Calm down, people, it's offside, whatever, and then we'll get to Colombia in a minute, but just save y'all the time and trouble. Colombia technically was offside as well, so.
It was.
Make sure your toes fit all the way in your cleats and don't wear a
Yeah.
size extra.
Yeah. Yeah. Try. Get that like size down on your cleats. Probably a few sizes, 3 or 4 sizes, just in case next time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah, every time I see Belgium, I get angry though because they always look promising, but they always disappoint. And they're gonna be facing Senegal, and I feel like Senegal can take this win over here. So I'm looking forward to how they do in the group stage.
All
And
right, so Senegal beat Belgium, and then that sets up USA Bosnia winner. So that's that right there. And where's that game going to be at? USA will go to Seattle. Yeah, that's right.
yeah,
We know this. We know the schedule. So USA beats Bosnia, and then the winner of Belgium Senegal will be in Seattle. And I want it to be Belgium, not to beat De Bruyne, but to beat Belgium because they came to the U.S. in the before the tournament and kicked our butts, and it'd be a nice team to go back out and show that we can defeat, and it'll give us more praise over defeating Belgium than it would Senegal. Sorry, Senegal, but that's just the way the FIFA rankings work. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that round of four right there between those four teams:
Oh,
USA,
I
Bosnia.
would I would love Pulisic scoring on the 90 minute against Belgium, a 2-2 game, and you got Pulisic scoring a free kick against Thibaut Courtois. So I can just
Woo!
so I can just see Thibaut Courtois' face because he was the one that he needed the goal for that started the like he touched the ball, gave the pass to the guy that gave the pass for the goal in 2018. I want to see Belgian faces now.
God, we're going back in time again.
No,
I'm
we're
just
good.
kidding.
No, yeah, that it's been a
I'm just
while though,
kidding.
but
I would
yeah,
love 2018 FIFA World Cup. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one. 2018. Who won 2018, Selvin?
France,
All right. France won 2018.
but it was
They're
a, it
not
was
winning.
a, it,
They're
it
not
was
winning this year.
no, they're not winning.
but
I got
yeah.
you. I got USA against Mexico the final.
No, I mean, if that happens, then both countries are gonna take the day off collectively. But I
Oh
mean,
my
that
God.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well, it's
it's
on
not
a
gonna
Sunday,
happen though.
so you're going to have to take the day off because the game's on a Sunday. The World Cup finals on a Sunday. So make sure
Yeah.
you take that day off. Make sure, you know what, as a matter of fact, Andres, the dynamic Foxtrot, I dare you to put your PTO in tomorrow for the World Cup final if you have not already. Gosh, dang it.
Oh yeah, it's I'm working on it because I'm not missing a final for a World Cup, like regardless of the outcome.
Yeah. I'll come over and sneeze on you to make sure you get sick or something. Make sure you
Right,
call in.
right. I got enough sick time still. But yeah,
Yeah.
moving on to Group H. Of course, we have Spain topping the group with 7 points. They did not get 9 points because they drew Cape Verde on the first round, which is fantastic. And Cape Verde, man, Cape Verde, everybody's favorite team because they deserve everything they earn. Finishing the group in second place, I believe
They
this is
never
the
lost.
first. I believe this is the first time in since the '60s that a team qualifies to the next round of the knockout stage in the World Cup without winning a single game. And honestly, just the way they've been able to play, it's just incredible that they've only conceded 2 goals. I mean, they were in the group between Spain and Uruguay and Saudi Arabia, three teams that have enough World Cup experience that you would have thought that either one of those three or all three could have qualified to the next round, but they didn't. Only Spain and Cape Verde qualified. So congratulations to Cape Verde, regardless of what happens next, because they're facing Argentina. That they This is a massive accomplishment to them, and I mean, I have to stand up and congratulate them because this is amazing, amazing.
Hey, get another draw, and you go to penalties, and you
Yes,
can defeat Argentina. Now that's 120 minutes though, so
yeah,
good luck drawing Argentina for that long. But come on, Cabo Verde.
And I was just memorized Cabo Verde being the dark horse of this tournament, being the team that tied against Spain, being the team down 2-1, coming back and tying to Uruguay, and then the shocking Uruguay losing to Spain, and people want now. I'm hearing is Bielsa get out
yeah.
Yeah, Uruguay
Uruguay's
has no bite in their attack no more, so they're weak.
their
Yeah,
turn.
they had issues in the attack, and they had issues in the dressing room, and altogether they came into the World Cup with really bad mojo on top of everybody not getting along. So it was gonna be a bad campaign for them, but honestly, just horrible because everybody was expecting them to make it out over Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, and the opposite happened. They did not win a single game,
I have a
and yeah, and they lost on the last day. So against Spain, so it was just horrible for them.
I have
Honestly,
a I have a question. What
yeah,
is the coach doing taking out Federico Valverde on minute 56 of a game?
Well, the bigger question is why did the coach play Muslera, one of the worst players in the campaign this year, and he had Rochet, he had valuable keepers on the wings, waiting to get the opportunity, and Muslera just having an absolute nightmare of a campaign. I watched the games from Uruguay; it was just horrible. But I do agree with what you say, Sylvie, because Valverde was taken out, that was their best player just out. Like it was just really ridiculous.
Muslera coming out on the second goal for Cabo Verde was insane. Then he has that error against Spain. That was an easy ball to grab.
Yeah, really disappointing. They're gonna have to do some sort of reset. Obviously, Bielsa is gonna leave the national team, and yeah, it's about time for them to do some sort of rebuild coming out of this World Cup cycle or the next one. That
Hey,
was Group H.
Uruguay's going down. Venezuela's coming up.
Yes, yes. I trust our coach this time. We'll talk about that in a later time, but yeah, we're on our way up. But yeah, that was Group H. Group I. Well, France, uh, whether you believe it or not, they topped the group with 9 points. Uh, they look like the best team in the tournament because they're scoring left, right, center, all the angles, everybody scoring. They're gonna be facing Sweden in the next round. Norway finishing out second with 6 points, only losing out
Norway
to
taking the break against France,
yes, yes, and
giving up the group, not even trying.
honestly, I felt like that was smart of them because they kind of just knew that if they were to go 100% against France, they were risking their best players for the next round, in terms of injury and all that. But they already qualified, so I felt like in this position, I felt like it was probably safe for them to rest their players. I guess especially against a team like Ivory Coast. Um, yeah, and that was the 6 points. Everybody was like complaining why they rested Haaland, and I was like, I mean, they have a knockout stage coming up, and they already clinched a spot, so I feel like that was probably the best call for them.
Right, I
The
get
way
it, and it really doesn't matter because if they would have won the group, they would have been France. France is playing Sweden, and then they're going to play most likely Germany. So Germany would have been, the second round game after that, France and Sweden. But Norway ended up getting Ivory Coast, taking second place. But you get the winner of Brazil versus Japan in that game. So I don't think it would have mattered winning first or second in that group. I think Andreas hit it on the nose. They're gonna rest and be ready for the knockout stage because you can't lose. So smart play. I was looking forward to him playing France. I wanted to see Mbappe and Holland play, but oh well. Save it for another day. European champions will have to wait.
save it for another day. You got Dembele scoring a beautiful goal against Norway.
Dembele, yeah, that first
Yeah,
one too, bro. I think that first
At
one.
first, I
Jesus,
take
no
I,
angle.
no angle, and then the second one, a beautiful pass from Molise. A great campaign he's
Oh,
having.
and they have the luxury of having a stacked bench too, so they could they could even sit out Vitinha, they could sit out Olise. It's just be a nightmare for the opposing team because they have all this quality coming off the bench, and you just feel sad because you wish you could have like that type of luxury. So like it's yeah, France. Yeah, they're gonna go all the way. Like unless there's some sort of catastrophe that happens in the group stage, but
I'm thinking Germany can take him out.
yeah, we'll get into that. But Senegal makes it third place in that group and comes out obviously, and they're going to play Belgium, so we'll see what they can do. But that was a group that one went by paper. Iraq came in and was almost the worst team in the entire group. Actually, I think they were the worst team in the entire group. -11 goal differential. Did not score any goals themselves. I believe they did not score any goals themselves. I don't know. They scored one.
they
Sorry,
only score
they gave up.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was deciding between Iraq and Tunisia, being either one of the worst teams. Yeah.
Tunisia didn't score though, right? And how many did Tunisia give up?
So Tunisia did score 2 goals,
Oh,
but
they
they can,
scored two.
but
Gave up
yeah,
12.
yeah, and both Iraq and Tunisia conceded 12, which is interesting.
Yeah. So
I'm a
Iraq's the worst team.
I'm gonna
Jordan?
get
No. Jordan did better. They scored some goals. Uzbekistan? No. Yeah. So, yeah. There we go. Panama? No.
Yeah, Panama's the only team that didn't score a goal in the group stage.
Yeah. So, yeah,
uh,
the worst team, Iraq, was the worst team in the World Cup.
I'm gonna give Iraq their props. First half against Norway, they were 1-1, and I was
Mm.
thinking Iraq is gonna shock the world and tied against Norway, and they came up short.
Three other goals short.
Yeah, it was disappointing, but yeah, like it's yeah. Shout out to Iraq for at least making the World Cup out of
Yeah,
the
for real.
playoff
Shout out to Iraq for making the World Cup before Chile and Italy.
and Venezuela. Yeah,
And Nigeria and Cameroon.
yeah,
We're going across
We
the world. Yeah.
we're not we're
There's
everybody.
some
not
teams missing from the World Cup.
we're not gonna
Yeah,
talk about Venezuela. Prayers to them right now.
We probably will,
yeah.
but for other reasons.
Right, and moving on to Group J, of course, Argentina. I don't know how to describe the type of perfection they're going through, or just like the good mojo, because they look almost unbeatable now. Topping the group with 9 points, 3 wins, only 1 goal conceded in the group that had Austria, Algeria, and Jordan. Granted that they are not your top nations to go against, but at the same time, 3 wins is still gonna be insane.
I mean, that was Austria and Algeria wasn't going to perform against Argentina. So Argentina made it through that cupcake, and they still played Messi in the third game for a few minutes, and the friggin' fool still scored.
Yep.
So good for them. They're defending their title, and we'll see. What they do. They've got Cabo Verde, where they've got the biggest fairy tale of them all. So if they get past the fairy tale, then you know what? This is their tournament to lose.
Yep.
And the way it lines up, they're going to get Australia or Egypt in the second round. Come on, the round of 16, that's a weak sauce, baby. And then after that, you're going to get, I'm going to say Colombia makes it out of that group. So Colombia will be their first real test in the round of 8. And I hope Colombia is good enough to beat Argentina at this point, is what I'm saying. But
I,
Argentina, your tournament to lose.
I'm just shocked that all the goals leading to the third match was only Messi, and to be memorized, one of the great players to ever step on the field to break that goal record,
He still
goal
one behind, or
record.
now, yeah, he still one behind, right? Or is he
No,
tied
like
now?
he has a new record now.
No,
He has 18 goals.
Marta, Marta.
Combined World Cups. Yeah, I guess he has. Yeah, yeah. It's for the. I was talking about the men's, but yeah,
Yeah, technicality. Yes, let's recognize our women as well, even though
of
I don't
course.
like Marta.
I love Marta. She's one of the great players.
She's a
Oh
great
yeah,
player. She's just a poor attitude, so that's why I don't like her.
yeah,
But off the field, then she's a great person again. So it's her player personality on the field that makes her annoying. But she's a great player and still killing it.
yeah, yeah. We got that World Cup coming up next year, so more soccer for us, which is fantastic.
On
But yeah, going
Netflix.
back to Group J, we do have Austria taking out the second spot of the group with a 0 goal differential over Algeria. Even though Algeria had 4 points as well, they had a -2 goal differential. But Algeria managed to go through as the best third place team, and they're going to be facing Switzerland on the next round. And that was right after the 3-3 draw that we kind of mentioned earlier against each other on the last day of the group stage. And that was one of the best games of the tournament so far. If you guys haven't seen the
I got
highlights already,
Algeria.
check it out.
Yeah, yeah, please do. I got Algeria beating Switzerland. That's gonna be my 3-1 upset of the round of 32.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking yesterday match was the greatest match I ever seen in this World Cup yet. 3-3, and then I was like two teams that people gonna say, "Oh, it's a boring match." Argentina's playing. Oh, let's go watch Argentina. I put that game on my computer, and I was screaming, and I was screaming, and I was like, this game is gonna end up 2-2. And then when I saw the third goal, I was like, I'm hoping for another goal, another great match.
Both teams scored in extra time after the 90th minute. So
That's
yeah,
insane.
what a friggin' game. Go watch the highlights if you don't want to watch
It
the
was
2
in
hour
10 seconds.
or just watch the second half. It was what 1-1 at halftime or still 0-0. Yeah, I don't even remember.
Oh yeah, just
But
check it out because it was an incredible game altogether.
yeah,
Jordan, unfortunately, no points and out of the tournament, last place. And moving on to Group K, Colombia topping the group over Portugal with 7 points. I mean, that's
by
incredible.
itself.
That's incredible. And obviously, the last game of the group stage, Colombia Portugal. The scoreless draw, I believe, doesn't tell the full story because if you watch the game, Colombia, they were extremely calm and knew what to do against Portugal. And I believe they pulled a masterclass out of that one because all they had to do was just sit back and wait for Portugal to scramble and get nervous. Portugal, they had a few chances at goal, but Colombia, I saw them very comfortable uh, in almost the
37
entire
shots
game.
between both teams.
Yeah,
37, 24 shots for Colombia that game. No goals for either team.
yeah. But you look at
That
the
counted.
yeah, and that still like it goes to show like how far Colombia is that when it comes to working as a unit and they were able to pull through, finishing up the group at the top, and they're gonna be facing Ghana on the next round. Portugal finishing up with 5 points, so and they're gonna be facing Croatia. I think that's gonna be a good test in the round of 32 for them. It's gonna be very heavily contested, so we'll see if Portugal pull through and Cristiano does something because he's been kind of appearing, disappearing in here and there. But this the game he's gonna have to show out is
I
because
wanna
it could be his last.
I wanna say something. Kids, please don't say you are back, that you are back at your best performance scoring against a plumber. Please don't ever say, "Oh, I'm back," and then goes against Colombia. Please
Yeah,
don't never do that.
yeah. Like if you're confident, probably you shouldn't like just be cocky about it. You should probably just focus on playing and scoring goals. but but yeah, uh, but third place Congo, man. Democratic Republic of Congo, pulling through and moving on to the round of 32 with 4 points. Sorry, 4 points, and because they were able to beat Uzbekistan on the last day, 3-1. Absolutely fantastic, amazing, and they're gonna be playing England, unfortunately. So good luck to them. But I'm so happy for Congo. Shout out to them for moving on to the group stage, and I hope they're able to compete against England at some capacity.
They'll play well against England, but England will win that game.
Yeah,
And and if you can bring a voodoo doodoo person into the stadium, please do, so I can see you in the next round.
yes, everybody will love that except English fans. But yeah,
J-
if they're able to do something out of that game, that will be great. Um, yeah, we kind of mentioned already Uzbekistan, 0 points out of it. I was expecting more of them, that because they had like a pretty solid campaign, but nothing came out of it. So it is what it is. And the last group, Group L, England topping the group with 7 points, only drawing Ghana with a 0-0 draw the previous week, and Croatia gained the second place spot with 6 points. and they're gonna be facing, like we mentioned, Portugal and Ghana. Ghana being one of the best first place teams with 4 points and a 0 goal differential. They're gonna be taking on Colombia, like we mentioned. Panama, the only team that did not score in the entire group stage.
It
Zero
shows how much they
points,
miss Coco.
a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I,
Yep,
a
yep.
lot.
I just want to say Panama is the team that I laugh 30 seconds. It was 30 seconds out of the Ghana game. Your first point. And what you do?
Yeah, yeah, they
You
were
go.
about to get at least a point out of that performance, which could have definitely built up something. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. And Panama, yeah, man, I felt like they were in a pretty good position considering that they were one of the best teams out of CONCACAF, not taking into consideration the host nations for the World Cup. And yeah, like it's really disappointing to see that out of them. And that is the entire group. We did take up an entire hour.
Yep.
So
So hey, fire. All right, Andreas, I'll go to you and then Selvin first. Portugal, Croatia. Who wins?
Portugal, Croatia. I do have mm, I do have Croatia.
Selvin, Portugal,
Croatia.
Croatia. Oh, I
Croatia.
see. I got Portugal winning. So all right, Portugal 2-1 wins right there. Spain, Austria.
Spain.
Spain,
Yep, same here. Spain, Belgium, Senegal.
Senegal,
Belgium.
Yeah, I got Belgium too with Selvin here. So Belgium advances. USA, Bosnia.
USA.
USA.
Yeah. Duh. No, I'm just kidding. Canada, South Africa. Let's talk about that real quick. Last second frigging goal,
Boom.
dude. Amazing. Canada saving their butts, dude. And South Africa, good team. But, so South Africa, Canada. Canada gets that win and advances. They're going to play Netherlands and Morocco.
Oof. I want to go with Netherlands here because I feel like it's gonna be a close game, but Netherlands take it.
Morocco takes this.
See, I'm going to be Netherlands here too, right? Netherlands is going to get out of that. That's going to be a great game to watch, though. And the winner of that game plays Canada in
And
Houston for the next round.
and I
Yep.
wanna and I wanna say something quick. Shout out to the Canada coach for saying I'm gonna fly out just to go see Netherlands Morocco game in Mexico.
Yeah, good. Scout your next opponent. That's freaking awesome. All right, France, Sweden. I think we all know our answer there.
Yep.
France, France,
France.
France.
France. Germany, Paraguay. I don't think anybody's got Paraguay
Yeah,
beating
Germany.
Germany.
No.
All right, here's the tough one. Australia, Egypt.
Oof. I'm gonna go with Egypt on this one.
I'm gonna go with Australia in this one. I love the fans.
That would be cool though. I
Well,
wouldn't complain.
yeah, their fans aren't playing though, so Egypt's going to win this game. Hey, but yeah, they might bring enough people though. July 3rd in Arlington, they might bring enough people to that game against Egypt. So you never know. So you might be
The,
right, Selvin.
the chants they be doing, and it's all over Instagram, is insane. I can't say it here, but they be taking shots to our president.
Oh well, anyways, who cares? Argentina, Cape Verde in Miami. That one I think both of y'all gonna have Argentina. Does Cape Verde make it to the penalty kicks? Or at
No,
least to extra time?
no.
Me neither. No. Colombia, Ghana.
Colombia.
This game in Kansas City, by the way.
Colombia, yeah.
I take it in penalties, Colombia.
Colombia. All right, I think Colombia is going to win that one outright. In Vancouver, Switzerland, Algeria. This is where Canada was supposed to be. Switzerland takes the group.
Yeah. I got Switzerland.
Yeah, I got Algeria.
See, I got Algeria too. There you go. There's my
All
three
right.
beating one upset right
That
there.
would be pretty
Right
cool
there.
if Algeria wins.
That would be cool. And they would set up to play the Colombia Ghana winner as well. Right here in Houston, the big one, Brazil, Japan. Anybody want to change their pick?
Oof, that's gonna be a massive game, man. That's gonna be
Give me,
massive.
give me Japan.
I'm pretty. I feel it's gonna be close too. Ugh,
Give me Japan because it's at 12 a.m.
12
12,
p.m.
12
12
p.m.
p.m.
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah,
It
it's in
Japan.
feels.
noon.
Give me Japan.
Yeah, I'm Brazil.
Honestly, I'm gonna go with Japan just for the vibes because they. I feel like they have a much better unit, and if Brazil slip up, which I feel like they will, I think Japan takes it.
All right, well, you got Japan moving on in that out of our picks. Then Ivory Coast and Norway. Japan plays the winner of this game.
We got Norway.
Don't worry,
Uh,
Houstonians. I didn't forget Brazil's winning, so don't worry about them.
I got Ivory Coast because I really like how they've been able to hold up in the World Cup, and Diomande has been fantastic.
I got Norway because the monster's going to run through Ivory Coast's defense.
Of
So,
course, yeah. I wouldn't count that out, yeah.
you want to change your pick?
No, I got Ivory Coast.
All right, and to our friend Jack, who's now an American, England and Congo.
Give me
Yeah, it's gonna be
England.
England.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Jack. Shout out to Jack and David. They told me if Mexico does beat England, they will be taking my credentials.
Good. They should. They should. You picking against Mexico might be a problem. So England and Congo, that's going to be Atlanta. I'm sure, as we mentioned, Jackie, he'll be at that game. He was just at the last England game too. That's July 1st. Then June 30th in Mexico. Of course, Mexico versus Ecuador. Any upset here?
No, they're
Mexico
not.
Well,
wins. Waiting for
They're
you to
not.
go against them, Selvin.
They're not on. They're not Honduras.
they're gonna be the best team Mexico's gonna face so far in the tournament. I believe it's gonna be a big test for them. I think Mexico win because they're on home soil and it's gonna be very difficult for Ecuador to recover.
Right.
I only see Ecuador taking this if they're able to find that attacking power they've been lacking a lot in this tournament. But I think Mexico take it because they're gonna bring in a lot of pressure.
Yeah, Mexico at home. Yeah, it's that one's over. Sorry, guys. That one's easy for Mexico, I think, or easier than it should be. And like I said, Mexico hasn't given up any goals the entire tournament. So that's what I got for round of 32. I don't know. Will we be back in time? Probably not. So there's some other round of 16 games we might have to come on and post on socials our round of 16 predictions once they're made. I don't know if we'll be back next week in time to give you those predictions, but y'all heard who we picked. You can put two and two together who we think. And the big one I kind of want to ask you now, France and Germany. France is going to keep going through, right? So it's who is going to win the tournament? Who do I think is going to win the tournament, and who do I want to win the tournament? Was the question I asked you last time, Andres. So mine was I think Spain was going to win. Who do I think is going to win is Brazil, and who do I want to win is Netherlands. I'm probably going to change my pick to right now. I don't know. I still want Netherlands, but maybe it's France, Brazil, and Netherlands in that order. Who is going to win? Who I think is going to win, and who I want to win.
Who I think is gonna win? I'm gonna change my pick. It's not Brazil anymore. It's gonna
Obviously,
be. It's gonna be Belt. It's gonna be into Spain. I got England or Mexico.
you want Mexico to win. Who do you think's going to win, and who is going to win?
Who is gonna win is Spain. Who I think is gonna win is England. Who I want is Mexico.
All right. Same question for you, Foxtrot.
Just looking at the entire bracket now that is set up, I feel like the path straight to the semifinal is already laid out for Argentina and England, and even France. like even though France, I feel like are gonna have a little more of a challenge compared to the other ones because obviously as soon as they go through, they're gonna be facing Germany, they're gonna be facing the Netherlands, they could be facing Spain in the quarters, well in the semis actually. So like it's their path is not gonna be easy. France are able to pull through to the final, where I think they're very capable of doing it. So I still have France only because they are absolutely stacked like, at this point in time. On the other side, of course, we do have like Argentina can make it straight to the semis, regardless of the bracket, and on the other side, like with England as well, they could be making it all the way through. But I feel like England do have an opportunity. Well, they're gonna have to face either Brazil or Japan, and of course Mexico as well, and at their own house potentially. So I feel like I still feel like it's gonna be France or yeah, I think it's gonna be France.
Can I change
Who do
my
you think
pick?
is who do you think's going to win it, and who do you want to win it?
I think it's gonna be France. Who do I want it to win it? Of
No,
course,
so who is winning the World Cup?
France,
Who do you think is going to win the World Cup?
France.
Who do you want to win the World Cup?
USA. That
There
would be
you
pretty
go.
fun. That would be pretty
Yeah,
fun. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There you go. There you go. That's like uh whatever they that the kids that play that damn game, murder Mary kill or whatever date or whatever like that. I was
I
like,
did
yeah,
have
who?
I did have Portugal as like my favorite pick, but after watching the group stage, Portugal needs a lot to do now. Like
That's why we talking
they have to
about it. Got to
convince me
change it.
now. Yeah,
Yeah. All right, that's what I got, man. I guess we'll have to catch back up whenever these games finish up. But the round of 32 is here. Teams are going home. Games are getting tense, just like Canada versus South Africa today. So more games tomorrow. What do we have tomorrow, anyways? Tomorrow is Brazil,
Brazil,
Japan,
Japan.
Germany,
Yeah.
Paraguay, and Netherlands, Morocco. Damn, what a 3 game set that is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, and
That's
it's
Can
gonna be
freaking
I
awesome.
incredible. That's what I
can I
mean.
can I change my pick out of Germany again?
Oh no, you're locked in, bro. It's too late. Nah, just kidding. Out of
I'm
what?
gonna get
Germany and
Paraguay.
yeah, you're gonna pick Paraguay.
I'm gonna pick Paraguay, a sleeping
All
pick,
right.
because Germany lost, and I'm thinking Paraguay has that confidence that they had years back. But I'm thinking Paraguay is gonna upset Germany 2-1.
Okay, you heard it here first.
That would be insane. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
yeah,
backing
man.
that one. So
Oof. That is a knockout stage set up and ready to go for another full week of insane soccer in the 2026 World Cup, and I'm absolutely looking forward to it. I do have the radio set up at work just to listen in because I'm not able to watch. But man, like it's only gonna get better. Like we saw all these group stage games happen, and it's now only gonna get better from here because everybody's just gonna try and kill each other regardless of how
yep,
small the country is or how weak the team is. They're still gonna go out there. They're gonna try to kill each other, and I'm looking forward to like how the weaker teams are gonna try to go out there and compete against the bigger ones. We kind of just like to joke about it, like here as you just listen, but man, at the end of the day, like both teams on the field, they're gonna have that opportunity to go and make history and go to the next round and the next round and hopefully the final. Everybody is aiming for that spot, but of course you have to work for it. And we do have 32 teams that are gonna go out there and make it happen. And I'm definitely gonna be pulling for the smaller teams in this tournament. And definitely be back next week to recap all the action. Um, as always, a shout out to everybody that has been tuning into our episodes over the course of the World Cup. And as we prepare to get things going as well for the Dash and Dynamo in a few weeks, Dash first and then
no, the
Dynamo.
dash, the dash. Dash come back starting tomorrow with the Dash Dispatch,
Yep.
and they play on Friday against the Washington Spirit. So the NWSL season is right back here. Y'all check it out. The Dash Dispatch back in the studio tomorrow night. Will be out Tuesday morning. The transfer window opens till June 14th for the NWSL, but there have been some moves that have been made already within the NWSL and one for the Houston Dash. So y'all tune in and listen. We have a big show planned tomorrow. It'll be me, Laura, and Danny right there doing the Dash Dispatch. So check it out. Always on Foxtrot TV and dynamicsfoxtrot.com.
Yep. Whatever you are listening, and the best place to watch all of our content is right here on Foxtrot TV. So shout out to everybody that has been tuning up to our live streams on YouTube. And as soon as the World Cup ends, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled contents. Obviously, we do have the live streams on Thursday nights over the course of the MLS season for Noodle Time, and usually every Monday, we do have this stuff recorded on Monday nights to have it out on Tuesday for the Dash Dispatch. And also all the content we have available for you guys. You can also check it out on dynamicfoxtrot.com, our website, and just stay tuned to
Hey,
everything that we do.
Dynamo
Yeah,
Dynamo preseason 2-2 against Philly. It sounded like, and Ponce and Matthew Arana with goals,
of course.
and the Dose are getting ready to start right now in 45 or 40 minutes. Their lineups just came out. You can tell by their lineups of how many players are training with the first team right now.
Yep.
Are practicing with the first team because this lineup is very different and the bench is very different. There's some kids that are getting the call ups. So uh, tonight be one of those games you might want to go check out for Dose just to see some of these kids and see maybe catch a name that you might hear later on in the future and be like, I remember that kid. But yeah, shout out. Noodle Time will be back soon.
Yep. And those finally about to go back home for the first time in like forever. So
Playing the final game of
yeah,
10th tonight against LAFC 2.
yeah, it's the final road game after 3, 4. I think it was for like 3 months, right? three
It
months
felt,
since
felt
the
like
last
it
home
for
game.
damn sure. Yeah, because they took breaks in between. So yeah, it felt like it.
Yeah, that was insane. But yeah, we do have still a lot of content coming out for you guys very soon. Aside from the World Cup, and as always, we do appreciate your support. Whatever you are tuning in, either on Foxtrot TV, on any podcast platform where we have Noodle Time, and of course, dynamicfoxtrot.com, our website. Of course, lastly, make sure you're following us on social media at Dynamic Foxtrot on X and Instagram. We also have Noodle Tiempo on X as a separate handle. Just us making sure that you guys are staying tuned on anything regarding our teams. And yeah, man, uh, here we go, another week of World Cup action and
Don't forget
just
the
a
TikTok.
lot of things. Yeah, what's up, Sylvain?
Don't forget the TikTok.
Of course, the new TikTok. Can you give it a shout out? Of course, Sylvain, we do have our new account manager for our official TikTok. Yeah, just give us some details on the account, Sylvain.
It's basically an account that is gonna be shorts video, people reacting to the score prediction, and mainly to people that wants to be on the video, wants to come out. We're gonna try to be outside before the mix zone. We're trying to be outside with the fans to see the reaction after a win of Dynamo Dash.
So everything you see on Foxtrot Game Day basically going to break down into shorts, fan interactions, the events going on at the tailgate, anything that we do, our point of view. Selvin's going to be throwing those up on TikTok, so you'll be able to see more shorts, more prevalent on TikTok, and the full podcast will still always be on YouTube. But follow like Selvin said on TikTok at Dynamic Foxtrot on TikTok, and give us a little follow over there, and he'll keep the shorts coming and Selvin's been doing a great job doing all the fan reactions outside of Shell Energy Stadium. So you'll see a few of those posted recently. But he's going to have some more work now that the podcasts are picking back up. So Selvin, get
Yeah,
ready. TikTok's going to blow up.
yeah.
TikTok
Get
is
ready,
gonna
sir.
TikTok is gonna blow up, and shout out to the fans that came out to me and wanted to be part of the videos, wanted to be part of an amazing time when Mexico won 3-0, and they were screaming, chanting, and I got a little bit scared because I thought they were gonna throw me up in the air, but they told me stay tuned. They told me on Tuesday. They told me we couldn't get you this time. We're gonna get you for the round of 32.
Got to know. I'm looking forward to it.
Delvin had a barricade to protect him from the fans. It looked like
Yeah,
he had police escort and everything too.
yeah, fans were getting crazy in that short that I posted on YouTube. But yeah, check it out if you haven't already. Well, yeah, that's gonna be a type of content you're gonna be seeing on TikTok as well, and the type of content that Sylvine has been serving up for you guys. So, of course, shout out to Sylvine, shout out to our Master Striker, worldwide Master Striker OSG, because the season is about to restart when it comes to MLS and WSL, and of course MLS Pro. So, well, MLS Pro already going on, but back home either way. So, as always, guys, we do appreciate your support. Thank you so much for tuning into this very special episode of Foxtrot World Cup, and we'll be back next week to recap all the action and knockout stages here. I cannot wait. And yeah, guys, here we go. Let's go.
H
H
in the
is up.
town. H in the town.
H in the town.
Now I'm making new ones up. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.